Video games are wasting your time, but we're not talking about this or this. We're talking about this. Now, why in the world does it take me like over 5 minutes from boot up till I can actually throw a single punch with my ungodly proportioned Luke forearm? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Stony, 5 minutes? Really? Is that worth complaining about? That kind of seems fast. Well, let me show you something else then. It's actually insane how quick I can boot into a game of Melee and then restart with basically zero downtime during the entire session. It's of course kind of spoiled how I think about loading into games, but it did get me thinking, why aren't more games kind of like this? Boot to actual gameplay has to be one of the most underappreciated aspects of game design, and I totally take it for granted. I know we have all sorts of hardware and loading limitations in games, but one of the aspects that certainly would be inexcusable is when poor design is actually the reason for these long waiting periods. That is when it's really noticeable. And okay, I want you to stay with me here. I might lose some of you with this example because I don't know any of you self-respecting people who out there is really playing a modern sports game online these days, but like, holy shit, just check this out, all right? This is the process an average NBA 2K player has to go through to play a game of online basketball against other people with their own created character. It's actually fucking insane. You have to run around this like GTA-like city, and you have to manually run over to a court, hope that two other people are willing to do the same thing and line up with you, and then wait the entire duration of the current pickup game going on to finish, while also just hoping none of the teammates leave to go find another court that might be finishing their game before the one you're waiting on. It's so crazy. You do this like every single time. And this is really the type of backwards ass design that I'm talking about. If we want to think of another way that we waste time in games, it's menus like this. Menus like this are examples that just waste my time trying to get into the actual gameplay. Here is the process of doing that in Call of Duty 4, the original one, and here's the process of trying to navigate the menu in MW2 or 3, but not like the original MW2 or 3. I don't even know anymore. They're all like the same thing anyways. Do you see how many of these Netflix-ass menus I need to swipe through until I can actually get to where I want to go? It's like we're afraid of putting relevant information on the screen in any way that isn't a giant square box that takes up a quarter of the screen. Another thing that wastes time while we're here is the fact that I can't just keep playing with these same people over and over again after the match is done. No, we need to boot everyone out from the last game and start a new one, right? This trend has been all over modern FPS games for a little bit now, and it's really just kind of wasting more time for little gain, I would say. Like, I get it. Whatever matchmaking system you have in place now, I know it wants to recategorize my data with other players to find better lobbies, but is this really necessary when we used to just kind of be fine with, you know, we're gonna keep playing with the same players? Not to mention the other benefits from playing in the same continuous lobby, like actually interacting with other people and maybe forming some friendship or maybe a rivalry, and you shit talk during the game, and it's exciting and forms a community, you know? All right, you know what? This is too much. We're wasting too much time here. You guys want to try a new game, right? Same here. I love trying out new stuff. I've kind of heard that this Destiny game is pretty cool. Let me try that out.
Oh my goodness!
This shit is nasty, right? Like, if I play a new game and like these are the first type of things that I see is a bunch of pop-ups for DLC or pop-ups for cosmetics or a battle pass, and all this shit is just thrown at my face, it is very likely that I'm just gonna go find another game to play. This one is a little bit tricky, I'll give it up. It's gotta be hard to manage a game that has so many expansions, especially for a new player coming into that experience for the first time. Hell, I play WoW, and they've been fighting that battle for years now. But it doesn't change the fact that these things that keep the player from actually experiencing the game actively waste the player's time, and even probably end up deterring people away from a game in general if they just don't want to deal with that shit. All right, I've got a very personal example here. I've got a bone to pick with this one. Games that do not let you re-choose options again when you are creating a character. There is nothing that I waste my time on more before playing a game than the fact that I can't change a character's look at all once I create them. This causes me to just sit on that character creator screen forever until until I get actually what I want and make sure it's like completely perfect before starting the game. If you choose like a certain race or like maybe a class or a job or whatever like that, sure, that makes sense that you can't really change that. Like you decided you're going to be a paladin. Cool. I'm more talking about the fact that I can't change a character's look at all once I create them. There's really not much of a need for this. I know for sure we can kind of have something like Elden Ring if we get into the game, you know, maybe there's like a mirror that you can stand in front of, or later WoW expansions added the barber shop, and it's like I can go there and change my character's appearance so that if I fucked up in the beginning, I don't just hate what I'm looking at. And dude, this one, I'm sure this fear stems from playing shit like MapleStory as a kid. Dude, in that game, there used to be a quest where you would go and complete the whole thing and get like a free hairstyle coupon. You'd go take your hairstyle coupon, give it to someone, and then they turn your hair into like, it looks like a fucking pumpkin. It's like an orange bowl cut, and it fucks up your hairstyle in the game forever unless you then go and pay real money in the cash shop to fix it. Like, what a fucked up quest, dude. What? Again, all these are examples of things that waste your time as a gamer before you even really get into the game at all. And that's the worst part, right? I don't know how many of you have ever had a friend say, hey, let's go play this new game. And then you're like, okay, cool. Let me go, you know, I gotta go download this, right? But oh, wait a minute. This one is an Epic Games installer. So I gotta download the Epic Games Store. And then after that, you need to download EA's Priority Launcher application to launch the game. Then after that, you finally get in the game, only to realize that when you try to invite your friend, you also need to download EA Origin to actually even send an invite in the first place. What the fuck is this? This process is so annoying. We just gave up for the night. It's like for most people, they only have a certain amount of time to actually play a game. It's like good luck trying to get more than one friend to do this process. Hell, if I wanted to have 4 people play, this is really gonna fuck this up. It's so insane. And it's not only EA that has some dumb shit like this. No, even Nintendo games, even one of my favorite games ever, is plagued with something similar. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is easily my favorite game on the Switch, but holy shit is it stupid that it doesn't have a party up system for racing online. Every time I want to race with me and a couple of friends against people online, we have to wait until one person joins a lobby, hope there's enough empty slots for the rest of us to join, and then we have to just join and most likely sit through a race or two of spectating until we can finally get into racing. It's so ridiculous. It's like, come on, Nintendo, get with the times, buddy. There are so many things like this that just waste time in games, and you know what? Maybe I should just accept it. What's wrong with wasting a little bit of time? You know, it gives you time to check Twitter or maybe watch a YouTube video. Hell, you've already wasted time watching this one. You might as well check out this one as well, right? Cool. All right. See ya. Goodbye.